Hi, my name is Bintu Harwani, and in this Android app lecture, we'll understand how to move from one screen to another. See, in Android applications, one screen is known as activity. So basically, we will learn how to navigate from one activity to another. So let's see how to do this app step by step. Let's start.
Right. So in this lecture, we learn how to navigate from one activity, that is from one screen to another. Right. In the last lecture, that is in the 8th lecture, we learned how to display certain street foods through recycle view. In this lecture, what we learned that if anybody clicks on any of the street food, it will navigate to another screen which will display certain details of that food item. Right. So there are certain steps for doing so. These are the steps that we have to follow to create a navigation. Right. First of all, we have to create a target layout file. That means on clicking any of the street food, you want to navigate to another screen, right? So you have to create the layout of that another screen where you want to navigate to, right? So first step is to create a layout file. So we'll open the same street food app that we created in the last lecture, that is 8th lecture. Let me tell you again that we are not going to make this login screen in this lecture. This will be creating in the next lecture, that is in the 10th lecture, where we will be asking the user to enter the name and password, and on clicking the submit button, the user will be navigated to another screen along with the welcome message. In this lecture, we'll be understanding two things: not only the navigating from one screen to another, but how to pass the data from one activity to another. This email address, which is typed in the first lecture, will be seen in the another activity also. So this will be the part of the 10th lecture. In this 9th lecture, we will just understand how to navigate to another screen. Simple as that. So we'll open that street food app. Let me recall. This was the app that we created in the 8th lecture. And when we click on any of the food item, see, here you see, there was a toast message. Let me maximize it. On clicking on any of the food item, you can see the toast message. Like for example, if you click on pav bhaji, look here. Pav bhaji. This is a toast message. See, vada pav. On clicking on chole bhature, you can see toast message. But now we don't want a toast message. We want that moment the user clicks on any of the street food item, we should be navigated to another screen that will display the details of one street food, right? Let us assume that the next screen will display the details of kadi kachori, right? So we'll go to layout folder. So we'll go to our res node. Here, this is the layout folder. It has these two XML files. Now we have to create another XML file for that screen where we want to navigate at, right? So right click on this layout file, click on new, layout resource file. Let's give the name as kadi kachori because this layout file will display certain like this. We don't have to write XML, okay? Let me tell you how the output we want. This is the type of output we want. We want one text view to display the details of that street food, one text view to explain the details of it, one image view of that, and then a scroll view. Can you see it? There has to be a scrolling, another text view and another image view. So in this layout, we'll be requiring 3 text views. One for this header, one for this detail, and third for this detail. And 2 image views to display these 2 images, right? And these components should be contained within the scroll view. If they are not contained within the scroll view, you won't be able to scroll this screen, right? So first step is to create a layout file, right? So what we'll do that we'll go into this layout node, which is within the res node, right click on it, go to new, click on layout resource file option. We'll give the name as kadi kachori because the layout file will display the details of one street food called as kadi kachori, okay? We don't want this constant layout as a root element, we want the scroll layout. So I'll type scroll. See, you'll get the scroll view, click on it and click OK. So you got the scroll view as the root of this layout, right? Now you need constant layout. Click on layouts palette, click and drag this constant layout, drop it over this scroll view. So you got a constant layout. Then you need a text view to display. Click on text view to display the header. So you got this text view. Click on the constant layout and set its height to match parent, right? So this constant view has become quite big. Click on this text view. This text view has to be set at the top of this constant layout. Click and drag it over the constant layout. Set its top margin to be 5 sp. Click this node and drag it to the left border of the constant layout, and from here this right, drag it to the right border of the constant layout to make it at the center of the screen. And I want to set its gap to 5 sp. 5 sp, and here from the top margin also I want it to be say 5 sp, right? So this is done. Next I want one more text view to display certain details, right? So click and drag a text view and drop it over the constant layout. The margin for this, we'll set it to 5 sp for this constant layout, and the height should be, we'll set it to 100 sp. We'll make it 500 sp at least for this. The height of this constant layout, we'll set it to 500 sp for the time being. This is my text view 2. Click and drag it over here. I'll increase its size. Achha, let me set the text of this also and its size also. The text size of this by default of this text view is 14 sp. Can you see it? I'll make it say 24 sp. And I'll set its text appearance to body 1 to make it a bit bolder, right? So this is the text view, it has become bolder. And the text content of it, let me reduce it. The text content of this is this one. I have set the text content of the 3 text views. I have written it for you. So click and drag it. Click and drag this thing. Copy it. Go into this text property and click it and select it and press del key and press Ctrl V to paste that and press enter key. So it has come here. Famous curry, kachori and samosa. Now click here. You want to set the constant of this text view. At the moment there are no constants for this text view. Can you see it? There are 4 plus sign. That means none of the constant is set. Now click and drag it over this text view. If you want to delete this constant, let me maximize it. Can you see a cross here? Click here. So this constant which you just set by accident will be removed. Now you click and drag it over this text view. It is asking you whether you want to set the constants with this text view with the top of this text view or with the bottom of the text view you want to set the constant. I want the gapping. I want the distance between the 2 text view to be computed from the bottom of the first text view. So I have to click on the text view bottom. So the constant will be set in comparison to the top of the text view with the bottom of the text view. Let me reduce it. See, can you see it? 35 has come here. I can make it 10 sp. See. To make it at the center of the screen, you can click and drag it to this left border of the constant, or you can click it here also. Click the plus sign here. Click the plus sign here also. And set the value to say 5 sp on both the sides to make the text view appear with the gap of 5 sp from both the sides in the center of the screen. No need of setting the bottom constant for this text view. Again, we'll set the size of this text view as say 18 sp. Press enter key. And appearance is set to body 1. To set the text of this text view, I'll go here. I'll copy this. This is the content for the second text view. Select it, copy it, go to Android Studio, and here in the text property, select this, the default text view, and after selecting it, press delete key and then press Ctrl V to paste the content. So this is that you get the text content here. See the border, can you see it? Let me reduce it. This is that. There is no padding, there is no spacing between the border and this thing, text view. So go to the padding. See, there must be a padding property here. This is the property, and make it say 10 sp. So this gap, can you see the gap? The gap has increased from this border, and this content will come at the with some spacing in between. How about setting the size of this text view to 20 sp? Become more brighter, appear more. Make it 20 sp. Next, you need an image view. But before placing the image view, I want two diagrams here more. So I'll provide you the diagrams of these two. One is Kachori 2 and another is Samosa. Shift and click both of them. Copy them. And on the drawable folder, right click on the drawable folder and click on paste. It is asking you to choose the destination directory. It is the same drawable. Click on OK. It is asking that I'm going to copy in this folder. Are you sure? Press OK. So you got both the Samosa and Kachori 2 here. Next, we have to drag and drop the image view over here. Select the widget palette, select the image view, click and drag it onto here. It's asking which image you want to display through this. Kachori 2. This one I want. Click OK. Right. And the constant of this are not yet set. Click and drag it and drop it over this text view. Set the constant with the bottom of this text view. We'll make the spacing 15 sp. Right. Click and drag it over here and click and drag it over here to bring it at the center of the screen. And next you want is your again a text view, right? Go to text palette, click and drag this text view, drop it on the constant layout. Where is that? It's here. Okay. Let's increase the size of this constraint. What is the size I've set it? 500 sp. Make it 700 sp. I'll select this text view. Bring it here. And constant of this was 10 sp, right? I'll increase the size. I'll zoom it up a bit. Click this text view, drag this node and drop it over here. Set the constant with the bottom of this image view. Again click and drag to the left and right of the constant layout to bring it at the center of the screen. And again repeat the same thing. Constant I have to set gapping to 5 sp at least. SP so that the gap is there between the text. I'll set the text size to 20 sp if you recall, and appearance will make it body 1 to make it brighter. Let me check what is the constant we've set. The constant with this will make it 15 sp. Left and right are 5 sp, no problem. Now I'll have to write the content for this text view. And the content of this text view will be copied from here. Click and drag this text. Right click and select copy. Go to your this text view, this text, and select it. Press del key and press Ctrl V to paste it. See, this has come. We have to add one more image here, right? So I'll drag and drop one image view, widgets, image view, and drag it on the constant layout. It is asking to select the image for this constant layout. We'll go for Samosa. Click OK. We have to set it, right? Click and drag it at the bottom here. For the time being, I'll reduce the size of this text view just to accommodate my image view too, right? So I'll do what? I'll decrease its size to say 10 sp. This one to again 10 sp. And this image view, this second image view, I'll click it and drag it over here. Just for the time being. I don't have to worry about it because constant layout will be set automatically. The size of the constant view is here. I'll just increase the size of this constant layout. Go to min height I'll make it 700 SP. I'll select this image view too and I'll drag it, drop it here. I'll set its size, don't worry. I'll increase the size. I have to set the constant of this image view in relation to this. Click and drag it over this desktop. Select the test view 3 bottom so that you want to set the constant in relation to the bottom of this test view. Click and drag it to the left to make it at the center, to the right again, and we'll set the gap to 15 SP. See, let me check. So you got all the things set. What you want, this gap will make it to 15 SP, and padding of this has to be set to 10 SP of this test view. We'll go to padding here. I think you can see it here. I'll make it 10 SP. Okay. So the gapping has come, and let me reduce it. Now I'll increase the sizes of this test view. I'll make it 20 SP. 20 SP. I'll write it here, 20 SP, and we'll increase the size of this one also. Select and make it 20 SP. Right, nothing to worry about that image because it is there, right, because of the scroll view, na? So you don't have to worry about it. So you got everything over here, and check the code from here. Scroll view is there. See, the height and width of the constant layout should be match parent, but this height I don't want. Okay, now see, what is the next step after adding the layout file? You have to add the destination activity file, which will load this layout file, right? So go to this Java node. Now here at this package, right click on this package, click on new, click on Kotlin file class option, and it is asking you by what name you want to create the activity file. Activity file will display the screen through the layout file that we've just created, right? So I'll make the name as Kadi Kachori activity. Right, so this is that file. Now here in this file I'll copy this code. This is the file which will load my layout file. This is that code. See, this Kadi Kachori activity will inherit the superclass app compat activity, right? And in this class you will write one method, onCreate method, right, which will again inherit the onCreate method of its superclass. And here what you're loading is the layout file Kadi Kachori. This is the kadikachori.xml where we've just created 3 text view and 2 image views, right? So let's copy this, copy and paste it here. So this file will just load your layout file that you just created. And third step, what is the third step? You have to mention this activity file in the manifest file, that is in this Android manifest file. That is in this Android manifest.xml file, you have to specify that you have created one another activity. Unless you mention it here, you will get an error. So this is the lines you have to copy into this manifest file, and this is telling the Android Studio that you have one more activity file, that is you have one more screen file Kadi Kachori activity, and this is a label. That is when you navigate to this screen, on the header, on the title bar, you'll find this heading famous Kadi Kachori. So right click on it, copy it, go into your manifest file, and here below this activity, main activity, to paste this. What is the next step you require? You have to write the intent code to load this activity file. So this is the code, this is the final step. And what is this doing? Recall that in the last lecture we understood that when anybody clicks on the item view, that is on the view holder, you were displaying a toast message. But now when anybody clicks on that item view, what you're doing, that you're creating an intent object which is loading this Kadi Kachori activity class file. So what is an intent? Intent is a sort of a mechanism which indicates the action that you want to perform. So what is the action that you want to perform? Our intention is to load the Kadi Kachori activity file. So you have made the intent object which is mentioning, which is informing that we want to load this Kadi Kachori activity file, and by this start activity you will be navigated to that. So you will be navigated to the activity file which is mentioned in the intent, right? So let's copy this, and this content you have to change in the food adapter class, click and drag and paste it here. So this will load your this thing. It is asking you that I'm not able to understand what is intent. You have to click on import. See, you get this error. It is asking you to import this library file, right? So you do one thing, you click on import. See, this error is gone because this intent file is loaded. Now our project is ready to run. Click on run button. See, when you click on any option, you will be navigated to this file, and you can see that you can scroll. Can you see it? See, easily, right? Because you have made a scroll view. Within a scroll view, you have created a constant layout, and within that you have dragged and dropped these item views and image views. You don't worry about the code. I am providing you the code along with the two images. And if you followed this lecture, subscribe to my channel, write your comments, share it with your friends. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.